Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Good evening to some of us. It's going to be good morning, but just wanted to start this podcast a little sooner. It's an important topic that I wanted to talk about. I know that this is not another sexy topic. I mean, of course, who wants to talk about our health issues, which we as Black men and as people tend to ignore? So I wanted to take a time just to address something that I've been noticing since I've been traveling and things that I've experienced during my travel journey within the past 10 years. And I know at times we don't want to address the ugly elephant in the room, but it's so obvious nowadays. It's so obvious that what we're seeing and what's happening around Black men is that we have a weight issue. I know that we like to throw shots at Black women, but this is not about them. This is about us. So if you want to join the conversation, I do not want to have a conversation around the issue of Black women obesity issue. This is Black men obesity issue, especially while traveling. But for the past few years, I've been traveling more aggressively than I have in the past. But one thing that remains consistent is seeing the amount of heavy set Black men traveling. And I mean, I understand some of us, we are big boned. I'm actually sharing him a picture of me that I took during COVID. I actually gained some weight. Now, granted, I like to keep a nice build, more of the linebacker build, but based on my profile that you're seeing right now, and I'm actually going to show you guys the videos, it seemed like I was built more like a defensive tackle. So I wanted to really address the issue about the Black man traveling while having health issues, but also the consequences of it. Like some of you guys may know, I've lost a few dear friends, people that I've known, associate who died overseas due to their health issues, poor health issues, things that could have easily been preventive, but we chose not to do that. And I think this is something that needs to be addressed. Guys, this is not a sexy topic. So if you come in here to talk about, the chicas and the women and the party and getting lit, this is not the topic. And, if you're not feeling this, I totally understand. But definitely, this topic is for the brothers that need to address their issues. This is for the brother that is going through something which caused him to gain that weight. I'm going to highlight all these things. And also, too, I'm going to open the floor and invite some of you guys to come and join me have this conversation. Because, again, this is not about me. This is about us as Black men living our best version of ourselves, but also, too, enjoying your travels, man. I mean, I'll tell you this. When I picked up weight, I did pick up weight in the picture that you've seen on the screen on my profile. I felt extremely uncomfortable. But you know what? Let me just go straight to that video so you can actually see how big I actually got during the COVID situation. All right, this is me in DR during COVID. I picked up some weight. Now, granted, to some people, they may think like, hey, this is a good football build. Look more like a defensive tackle. But let me stop. I know now, granted, I have big thighs, I have big calves, I have very broad shoulders. So if you were to see me, you probably think I'm a defensive tackle or offensive guard or something. But I actually picked up weight during COVID. I mean, although it's not as bad compared to most people, but I did pick up weight. And even my girl picked up weight during COVID. So we both kind of looked at each other and decided, hey, we're going to make some big changes in our lives. So we both lost weight since then. However, I wanted to address how uncomfortable I felt in this size here. I'm going to play this video for you guys. Just take a look at it. And again, for a guy my size, I'm very agile. I'm very fast. I have that fat boy speed. A lot of people always be surprised how fast I can run and how agile I am. I mean, I used to do backflips as a big kid. So now at 44, hey, I can't do that backflip anymore, but I can still move. And I'm still more flexible than the average 40 something year old. But I'm gonna go and play this video. And again, I felt extremely uncomfortable. I felt slow, sluggish, and even my sex drive was impacted by this, man. To be honest, you have a beautiful woman right here next to you, and you felt like that drive wasn't there, man. And the last thing I want to do is rely on that blue pill. So I'm gonna play this video. Again, this is me and my girl chilling at the beach. See, I felt very sluggish, and normally I can move for my size. I have no knee issues. I'm very flexible for a big guy. But there, I felt extremely uncomfortable. Like even throughout the entire time I was walking around, I felt a little winded. I was a little self conscious to even take out my shirt off. Normally, I'll just take my shirt off and just hang out at the beach, but I was a little self conscious about that. And I just felt extremely awful, to be honest. I mean, although I was enjoying myself, having a good time, but physically, I didn't feel right. I didn't feel like myself. I noticed that I was just very sluggish, like feeling more winded than usual. And it's just like I knew it was like, hey man, I need to make a change. And the thing is, her niece took this video. That's why the video capture is very grainy because she probably had a cheap phone. But still, when I saw this video, I just stood quiet. I stood quiet. I was like, wow, I got that big. And sometimes we don't realize how big we get because we never look at ourselves in the mirror. Like really look at yourself in the mirror. We're so quick to like, all right, well, we look at our face, put the shirt on, put the pants on, and go. But when you actually take the time and just look at yourself and just that something's not right. And normally I don't have a double chin. But this video, I watched this video sometime like never again. Fuck that. I can't get this big again. Again, I'm gonna play this video one more time and then go start the presentation. But again, this is like during COVID, I was out there. I spent about a month out there and I picked up some weight. And it's like I'm wearing my spandex shorts. And normally, dude, when I wear these shorts, man, hey, man, girls be looking. They see them damn fit, they see the thighs, the calves. They're like, oh, Bobby, como está? But when I had it this time around, I didn't feel comfortable. and it's okay, man. It's okay to feel that way. And it's just like, and that's something I want to address that, you don't have to settle being that big guy. And it's like, I'm tired of seeing of us walking through these airports overseas, so huge, people talking about us. You'd be amazed. People, when they look at you and they see that big guy, big sloppy guy walking towards through the airport, they know like, oh, that's the American. They just eat whatever they want. They don't really take care of themselves. Because if you guys notice, when you overseas, people look a lot healthier. Now, granted, yes, the food may be non-GMO. However, that's still not an excuse for us to let ourselves go. And again, there are factors that cause us to gain these weight, but we need to also look at ourselves and like, listen, we need to create some level of discipline and focus on being a better version of ourselves. So I'm gonna play this video one more time, then boom, I'm gonna jump into the PowerPoint presentation. Me and I'm Mr. Research, aka Black Man Travels. I'm a strong believer in doing my research and everything that I'm doing, everything I'm buying, I'm doing my research. I want to know and share you guys with good information. I'm not going to go based on just my experience alone. I really want to look what's causing us to pick up so much weight and not deal with the issues that we're dealing with. Granted, yes, we could travel and escape temporary, but at the end of the day, we still got to come back home and deal with our issues, deal with our health, deal with the person that you're living with. So granted, yes, traveling is a form of therapy, but it's not the entire therapy. So we're going to take a deep dive. But again, I'm going to play this video one more time. And again, this is me. Picked up weight, but don't get it twisted. I can still move, but now I dropped weight. So I'm getting back to my linebacker size again. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm feeling good. So when I go to Thailand in November, man, look, my goal is to turn crazy heads out there. They're going to see this 6 foot black dude, dark skinned black brother, bald head, walking through the street. So I want them to look at me like, damn, who the hell this dude is? That's my goal. So for the past 3 weeks, all the way until Thanksgiving, I'm doing 2 days. I'm eating super clean, where I'm only focusing on good protein, good fats, good carbs. And I'm also fasting. I'm fasting 16/8. So I'm fasting for 16 hours and I eat within 8 hours. So again, if you guys need some tips and tricks, holla at me. Definitely, I'll give you that information. But I'm gonna play this video one more time, man. This is my big ass. And this picture here, oh, by the way, I was about 300 pounds in here on this video. 300, dude, this is 300 pounds. Normally, when I'm fit, I'm at 250. But this is 300 pounds, fellas. This is what 300 pounds look like. Pues no lo haga, bonita. Venile acá. Venile acá. All right. Yeah, I did not like this video, man. But anyway, let's go ahead and start this presentation. I'm sharing my screen, guys. Definitely the topic of today is not a sexy topic, but it's a real topic, a topic that's much needed to have amongst us. Not everything should be around pussy, chasing women. Sometimes we need to focus on ourselves before we can start worrying about stuff like that. So, black men obesity issues while overseas, but really it's while traveling. Now, when I saw this picture here, I was like, yeah, I see this a lot. I see this a lot. And again, I probably fell into that category at one point, but it's just too many of us are traveling to certain countries way beyond obese. And it's just like we're wobbling through these airports, breathing hard, especially if there's stairs. Oh my God, man. I seen some guys struggle carrying the luggage and going up or down going up or downstairs at these airports, and they struggling, breathing hard, sweating. Granted, the airport is cool, they sweating, and it's not a good look, fellas, man. Like I would love to see us just be winning in all aspects in our lives, financially, emotionally, mentally, but also physically. Granted, yeah, you retired, you got a pension, but are you going to live long enough to enjoy your pension? Most cases, we don't. There have been countless of studies that shows that men tend to die within 5 years after retirement due to all these undealt issues that they choose to ignore over the years. And now they have all this idle time. What are you going to be doing during your idle time now that you're not working? You're enjoying your pension, you're enjoying your retirement. You're not doing anything active. Shit, your job was probably the most active thing you did. And it's just like you're gonna drink more, you're gonna smoke more, and you're gonna sit your ass more, which hence will make the situation worse. And a lot of us are too afraid to go see the doctor because we know there's something wrong with us. But you know what? As long as I don't know, I'll be okay. But at the same time, being in the dark about your health and traveling, and the thing is, sad to say, most of these countries don't really have the best healthcare system, depending where you go. And when I say where we go, we typically go to Colombia, DR, Brazil. I mean, and by the time you do experience a health issue, it's too late. And there's always some type of heart attack, stroke, hypertension. It's always something that triggers it because we live in that life overseas. We're drinking a little bit more, we're eating more fried food. And also, too, a lot of us taking those blue pills, man. And a lot of us are buying those blue pills off the street. So you don't even know what type of shit that goes into those pills. But you're taking them just to get, keep your dick hard so you could go ahead and enjoy yourself. But at the same time, at any given moment in time, you could just pass, get that heart attack, get that stroke. Next, you know, you're in a hospital in a foreign country where you're pretty much in a coma and no one doesn't even know that you had a coma. No one doesn't know you had, no one doesn't know you have a stroke or experience a heart attack. until it's too late. So again, I'm just using this picture as a way that we all seen this type of person. And again, this is not a shaming video, to my fellow big brothers. This is not a shaming tactic. This is not a way like put you on the spot, but we need to address this, man. And it's like, if you're gonna be busting your ass hard in the matrix, you should be able to enjoy the fruit of your labor while overseas. And I'm tired of hearing brothers passing. Since I started doing this, I have personally known 5 people who passed away while overseas. Colombia, DR, Brazil. Those are the 3 countries that I know personally that people have passed due to the fact that they didn't take care of themselves. They end up getting a stroke or a heart attack, and they end up dying at that country. And parents and family members, friends had to figure out how to ship their body back to the States, or worst case, bury their body in that country. I experienced that. So let's talk about it. Now, as I said, I've done some research, and of course, obesity is a big issue within the Black community. We lead the way at 49%, followed by Hispanics at 44%, and non-Hispanic whites at 42%. We lead the charge in obesity issues. That speaks volume. I mean, granted, it could be because the type of food we eat. I'm not gonna say soul food is the best form of food to eat on a consistent basis, but it does play as a role. But right now, I mean, just as people, as a race in this country, we lead the charge in the obesity at 49%. It's no excuse for it. It's no excuse, especially as a modern country, first country. We should not be within the 49 percentile amongst obesity issues. Here's a chart that I found from the CDC, which highlights the obesity amongst races of people, and they separated by gender. So I was able to, again, guys, I know you guys are gonna be quick to say, hey, Black women lead the charge of the obesities, but my focus is Black men. So again, if you're gonna join the conversation, don't want to hear about Black women. I want to focus on Black men. This is a Black man issue. But I have to say, amongst the Black men, we're at 41%. So that's a good thing compared to, Hispanics and Caucasian. We're only at 41%. Uh, Caucasians at 44% and Hispanics at 45%. And of course, Asians at 17%. But still, regardless, although we are the second lowest in the male category, still doesn't, it's nothing to be proud of that we're still up there. And we know we tend to have more, um, we tend not to survive our health issues due to the fact that our perception towards hospitals and doctors, we're always the last to know because we choose not to know. And it's not an excuse. I mean, the reason why you bust your ass in your job and retired and got your pension is to enjoy it. But how are you gonna enjoy it if you're constantly in the hospital? How are you gonna enjoy your pension where you can't even move? You're struggling just to walking up the stairs. You feel uncomfortable, so you wear like just bullshit clothes just to get out the house. Black man, we could do better than this, man. 41%, we should be at 15%. We should be at 15%. Bragging about, you being a big guy and just being okay with that, it's not cool. And again, I've been there. I'm speaking from experience. And I'll tell you this right now. I just did my health screening, right? Everything's fine. Everything's working fine. I drop weight. Everything's cool. I feel great. I look good. But something came up during my health screening. My prostate. My PSA level is higher than the normal average. My doctor called me in and say, you need to come in. We need to talk to you. I'm 44 years old, guys. He said, like, hey, we noticed your prostate level is a little bit higher than normal. We want you to do more additional testing to make sure. Dude, when the doctor told me that, which my doctor is black, man, my life just stopped right there at that moment. Like the worst thing I did is Google, Google this, Google and PSA levels and everything else because my mind went straight to cancer, went straight to the worst case scenarios. And I'm like stressing out. I'm looking at my son. When I came back home, I'm like, man, I want to live long to raise my son. And of course, that's just me being in my head so damn much that I always think about the worst case scenario. My doctor told me, don't worry about it. It's like, hey, listen, we need you to do another test. We need to check your kidneys. So I had to do all like different type of MRI. I got to go this specialist, that specialist. Within a month, I spent about $2,000 after insurance. So once my insurance cleared, I still had to come out of pocket $2,000 worth of testing. Do you think I want to spend $2,000 on tests and screenings? Pissing on this jar, taking more blood work? Dude, I don't want to go through that. So after I came back the next day, we did some more tests. I spoke to my doctor. I said, listen, what do I need to do to get my PSA level down? Started researching, started watching YouTube videos, started reading different articles. Okay, I could probably do this differently. I could do that differently, but still, we need to catch these things early in life. I do my look whenever I mean, whenever I do a health screening, anything that's a red flag, I run straight into it. It's like, okay, what can I do to fix this? My cholesterol high. Okay, what can I do to actually eliminate that? Do I need to eat less eggs? My weight issue. Okay, I'm kind of above, based on my height and weight. I mean, granted, I always been a big kid. Shit, when I was born, I was close to 11 pounds. If you see some of my baby pictures, I look like at 1 year old, I look 3. I was one of them thick country babies, man. It's kind of weird. But whenever a doctor told me something, I did it. And now I'm going through this issue. It's like, okay, what do I need to do now, right now, to help lower this PSA level? Because again, you could actually lower your PSA level by changing certain things. So right now we're doing more tests to figure out, okay, what is it exactly? Because again, it could be an off reading. However, the fact that he told me that, I'm taking my health to another level now. It's not about how I look, but also, I want to make sure every part of my organ is functioning at full capacity. So again, I'm all about transparency, guys. I'm not gonna say you some snake oil bullshit, some fantasy. No, I'm gonna tell you the real deal. And it's like a lot of us is moving around sloppy. A lot of us is not taking care of ourselves. Hence Kevin Samuel. I mean, you look at Kevin Samuel, he's a tall, slim guy. Whoever thought this guy had a high blood pressure issue? Actually, I think he mentioned he had a cancer removed when he in his 40s. He's a cancer survivor. But then again, he ended up dying from hypertension or heart attack. A lot of these things could be avoided if we listen to our bodies. When you know that you're out of shape, you feel it. When you get up out of that chair, out of that bed, and you're just rolling off the bed, your knees hurting, it's buckling, your back hurt because you walk up the stairs, your body's telling you that, hey, we need to change something right now. Leading causes of death for Black men. Right now, heart disease leading at 24.1%, following cancer at 19.7%. Stroke at 5%, diabetes 4.4%, respiratory disease 3.3%, and the kidney 2.7%. So heart disease, that falls into more of the heart attacks, just our, our body's not capable, our heart is not capable to carry all that load. So, when you calling yourself thick, you're a thick dude or you're a big man, sometimes, man, is it a good thing or a bad thing? And when we lead the charge at 24% of heart disease, that's not a good thing. and a lot of us are catching these heart attacks at an early age. I've known people who've gotten heart attacks in their 40s. I mean, look at this brother in this picture, man. I mean, he looks confident, but does he really feel it? I mean, we could put on this fake bravado that we could do anything we want, being a big guy. Hey, I'm still getting my stroke on and everything else, but man, how do you really feel, man? I felt like shit. Even then, like people still didn't know I was 300 pounds walking around because again, I carried my body weight very well, but I didn't feel comfortable with myself. And my girl she figured that. She's like, yeah, you don't feel comfortable. It's like you constantly, fidgeting and you feel uncomfortable sitting down because I felt like whenever I sat down, the chair was bringing me in for some reason. But it was not a good feeling, man. And to see that, we're leading the case of heart disease and cancer close to like 50%. It's not good. It's not good at all. And more of us are dying overseas. And the sad thing is, a lot of us are not even getting insurance. Like, don't be fucking cheap and not get insurance for your travels, man. It's only $24. You could go to Blue Cross. There's so many vendors where you could buy medical insurance just in case if anything were to happen to you. You're covered. At least you get reimbursed. Those medical insurance start off at $10, guys. I always pay about $35, $40 because I want the max of everything, just in case. And now with this whole situation I'm going through, you know what? I'm gonna just do the max. I'm gonna do double just in case any bullshit. But as my doctor said, hey, you have nothing to really worry about. Just, we're gonna do more testing and see where it goes from there. And of course, watching the YouTubers, I feel a little bit more okay about the situation. But when they broke the news to me, I ain't gonna lie, man, I was scared as shit because I'm always thinking about the worst case scenario. 5 root causes of obesity in black men. One is our poor diet. Let's keep it real, guys. We eat like shit. Majority of us eat like crap. We eat a lot of carbs, a lot of bad fats, and a lot of red meat. Bragging about you eating a steak, it's nothing to be, it's funny when I hear guys bragging about, eating a steak. It's like, dude, it's just meat. Like, dude's trying to flex eating a steak. It's like, it's just meat. And depending on how much you pay for, you probably got some piss poor quality meat that you're eating that you want to brag about. Eating, these shellfishes. Most of that stuff is not good for us. But it's up to you to find out, okay, what can I eat and use moderation? You can still have your shrimp and lobster, you can still have your steak, but just use moderation. Do you need to eat it every other day? No. Once a week, probably, it's okay. Lack of exercise. Let's keep it real. A lot of us, after we turn 40 or 35, we stop going to the gym. We feel like, hey, shit, I got money now. I don't need to go to the gym anymore. My money's my flex. When we were like in our 20s, our late teens, um, shit, we had to make sure our body was on point because that's all we had. We didn't have the money, but now that we are making six figures, we all owning multiple businesses, have multiple stream of income. We feel like there's no need for us to exercise because you know what, the money, the car, the trip, aka clothes, the house speak for itself. So there's no reason for me to work out. But yet you expect your woman to be in shape, but you're not in shape. It's funny how right now there's a big narrative, there's a big thing being pushed about, black women not being fit. But then again, black men, you're not fit yourself. And I kind of find it ironic when I hear black men talk shit about black women, about their weight. I turn around and look at the dudes like, bro, I don't even think you could walk half the block. Better yet, jog consistently. 3, we're not sleeping enough. I know that's like my biggest issue right now. I don't sleep. I tend to average about 5 hours of sleep. Um, I need to change that. So after I do this live stream, I turn everything off, my phone off, my computer off, and I go straight to bed. In the past, I'll take my laptop with me, have my phone with me, sleeping on my bed. watching American Dad. For some reason, I have to watch American Dad for me to fall asleep. Watch all 15 seasons of American Dad. But I know that I need to get more sleep. Four, stress. We don't do well with stress. We have so many outside stressors that affecting us mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and we don't deal with it. We just, all right, we're just gonna ignore the stress, drink it away, smoke it away, sex it away, thinking that it's gonna be gone, but really the stress is still there. And when you have a lot of stress, it builds a lot of estrogen in our body. Hence why we start growing man boobs, our guts start growing. And lastly, depression. Depression is real in the Black community. We don't believe in it though. Depression is real. I know I've dealt with my severe depression for many years. And I've shared this in the past that traveling saved my life. And that's why every 3 months I'm gone out of the country. I mean, I travel every other month, like domestic stuff, but really out of the country, I'm gone out of the country at least 4 to 6 times a year. And when I'm out, I check out. I mean, granted, I could work remotely, but sometimes, man, you just need to just turn that computer off, shut down, unwind, and just reset. And think about things that think about the things that you could do to get become a better person. Because depression is real within the Black community, especially among Black men, and we tend to self-medicate ourselves, which always makes the situation even worse. Lastly, I want to have an open discussion. I just wanted to go through the slide. 5 tips in becoming the best version of yourself. First, go see the doctor, guys. Whatever perception you have, or whatever experience you had, or your father or your grandparents had, today there's so much technology, so much information out there for you not to be ignorant what's going on. Get your annual checkup. If something seems off, if you notice that, hey, I don't feel right, why I'm feeling sluggish, go see your doctor. You're paying all this insurance money you're putting all this money towards your insurance, but you never use it. Now I'm at a point, man. If I cough a certain way, I call my doctor, man. I got his cell number. I'll call him like, hey, listen, can you pencil me in on Wednesday? I need to see you. Every trip that I come back, I need some antibiotics. I need to flush out because I know I've been doing some fuckery. I don't play this shit no more, man. Dude, when every little thing that seems off of my body, something doesn't seem right, I'm calling my doctor. Hey, I need to come see you. And I know his ass get tired of seeing me. But it is what it is, man. Exercise, guys. It doesn't take much to exercise. What I try to do, and I'm part of a Black Man Travel exercise group. Yes, we have a WhatsApp group called Black Man Travel Fitness. A few of us in the group, and this group, we actually inspired each other. We motivate each other. We show our exercise routines, how many steps, how many calories we're burning. I mean, it's a great WhatsApp group, man. I mean, I know there's tons of other WhatsApp groups sharing pictures of all type of fuckery that goes on overseas, but this group I love because we actually motivate each other. We set accountability over each other, and we always let each other know, hey, I'm going to so and so in November. I need to actually, I need to step it up. Hey, what can I do to help, lose this side handle? What can I do to change my diet so I can lose 10 pounds? And that's what we do in this WhatsApp group. This WhatsApp group is all about fitness. We ain't talking about pussy. We ain't talking about all this other extra stuff. We're talking about, hey, listen, you got a trip coming up. Put yourself in a fitness challenge. Try to reach your goal. Go see your doctor and then of course join your trip. Let it go, guys. A lot of us carry all this hang up about ourselves, about our past issues, failed relationship, failed business, jobs. Dude, sometimes you'd be amazed when you let that shit go. When you really, 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 really let it go, you start losing weight. Because sometimes when you carry all that pressure on your body, you're building all that estrogen, man. So you're losing testosterone and building up estrogen. So now you're going to have more female tendencies. So if you know that you're overly emotional, or you acting like a certain person or a certain gender, hey, you probably need to let it go, man. Whatever you're going through, whatever issue you have with your baby mama, your ex-wife, your previous job, or the cops, whatever, let it go, because that's the only way you're gonna get better, by letting go of the bullshit and starting over. And it's okay. And lastly, travel, guys. I can't say this enough. Traveling saved my life. Um, it could do the same for you. But if you don't do the first four steps, traveling is just a temporary escape, because guess what? When you come back home, all your problems, all your issues can be right there waiting for you at the door. It's real talk, man. You could go ahead and travel as much as you want and ignore all the issues that you're currently going through. But guess what? When you come back home and you open that door, all your problems, issues, whatever you left behind, it will be right there sitting in the living room waiting for you. So take that time, black man. Go see the doctor, man. Exercise, change your diet, let it go. And once you do all that, reward yourself with a travel, with a trip, man. And when you're out there, relax. You don't need to turn up every fucking minute. You don't need to be in the scene. You don't need to be in the crowd. Sometimes make time for yourself. Go to a little beach, empty, like, a secluded beach, and just relax. You'd be amazed. When you do that, you'll feel a whole lot better, man. So, wow. Oh, shit. I'm just seeing all this now. Sergeant Davis. Let me add you on. Hey, brother. How you doing, man? I guess you're still on mute. Let me see. This Lewis Davis. Well, let me read these comments, man. If you guys want to join the stream, you're more than welcome to join. Sergeant Davis, I got you on.
I can hear me.
Yeah, but I hear static on your end. You have it on speaker?
Hang on just a second here. Let me turn my fan off. How about now?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Oh boy. I am glad you brought this up because I assume you knew the late brother Charles Tyler.
Yes, yes. To be honest, I was in Rio when he passed.
And
So
you do know he was heavy when he went down there, right?
yes, yes,
See what I mean? So you've just proven the point. You've just made your point right there. What brother Charles did was a beautiful thing, inspiring brothers to pack up and start looking elsewhere. However, he sent them out prematurely. Now, I am ex-military. I'm retired Army, and I can tell you for absolute certainty, we don't go anywhere without prepping for it first. And I feel
yes,
like there's a lot of brothers who followed who followed brother Charles Tyler's example and dove in without preparing themselves. Now, obesity is 100% preventable. All right. Now, from time to time, yeah, I indulge in some of the junk food, but I also maintain exercise. Period. Maintaining it's exercise. You can't do one without the other. It's that simple. The point of the matter is, a lot of brothers aren't willing to invest in a fitness program. Mind you, a friend of mine named Tim Thackeray has a program on Facebook called the Juice Compound. I've been using that for the past year, and I'm seeing the results. It's hard work. I won't lie to you. I have limitations. There's certain things that I can no longer do. However, always utilize this program to get my weight down. February of last year, I was at 230 pounds. That's the heaviest I've ever been. By January of this year, I was down to about 176. Right now, I'm on 185, and this is where I want to maintain my weight. But
mm-hmm.
the fact of the matter is, people are like, you're not 51 years old. Yeah, of course I am. I don't look like it, and that is due to maintaining that semblance of fitness. You also mentioned sleep deprivation as one of
Yes,
the causes. Sir, people who serve in the military, when we're out on missions, we get about 5 hours of sleep at a minimum. I function off of 5 to 6 hours worth of sleep, but I make sure that my sleep is restful.
yes,
Sometimes it's not the quantity of the rest, but it's the quality of the rest you're getting. And I think this is not a slight against you. You've done your research,
No, no,
but
no,
I'm
no,
telling you
no.
from, please go ahead.
No, 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 no. It's not against me. Trust me. I actually have a smartwatch that tells me when I'm sleeping, when I fall into a deep sleep, and I'm noticing that I'm not. So my sleep quality has been
Hmm.
awful. And again, I don't need to sleep 10 hours, but I would want to go to bed a little bit earlier so I don't need to stay up late for no apparent reason.
And my wife still fusses at me for falling asleep at around 6 or 7 p.m. at night, like clockwork. But I'm also up at 3 o'clock in the morning. My
Yeah,
before I step out for work, my exercise routine, my fitness is usually from 4 o'clock in the morning till about 5:30, usually 6 o'clock.
got it.
And but that's me. I'm not telling everyone else to get up before sunrise. But brothers,
Sergeant
please, if you're
Davis,
listening,
Sergeant Davis,
yes,
I
sir.
actually, I've been training my boxing trainer. He told me he put me on this plan where my workout is at 5:30 a.m. now. So I actually get up at
Uh,
5. I have my workout clothes right there on my nightstand. Soon I get up, I
ah,
put my clothes on, I throw me a little pre-workout in my mouth, goggle it, then I go straight to the gym, man. I have no time to do anything else. Then next thing you know, I'm getting my workout. By 7:30, I'm back in the house. Then I wake up my son, and get him ready for school.
lovely. I live across the street from an Anytime Fitness, so I definitely
Okay.
have no excuses for not wanting to work. The thing is that the best time to train is when you don't feel like training. This comes from my days competing in Taekwondo, representing the Army.
Oh
Um,
wow.
there are plenty of days where I didn't feel like training, but I recognize that if I have to go and show for competition, somebody has spent those days they didn't feel like training, preparing. So I didn't want to get caught off guard. It's it is that simple. Again, brothers, if you go on Facebook, there are plenty of people who have fitness programs on there.
Yes.
Like I said, take a look at the juice compound. It is extensive. And with you being a former athlete, okay, he tailors, Mr. Thackeray will doing an intake, an assessment of you, and he can tailor the fitness and diet. It ain't just exercise. It's also a diet plan. It is
Okay.
it's extensive. Now you're gonna pay some coin for it, but it is worth it. And I'd say it's far compared to what you'd pay a professional trainer and dietitian for. You're getting all that encompassing, but I'd say it's about $2,000 for a year. I had the change laying around. I tried it once. It worked,
Well,
but I
I'll tell
had
you this.
to do the work.
I'll tell you this, guys. Um, per month, I spend about for having access to the gym. I have access to Planet Fitness. I have access to a boxing gym, and I'm paying for a private one-on-one coach, boxing coach. Total, I spend about $300 a month. And
Mhm.
guys, it's worth every
Uh,
penny. It's worth every
I
penny.
spent about
My,
$50.
my insurance covers to see a nutritionist. Guy, look at your insurance plan. Whatever insurance plan you have, it covers you to see a nutritionist. Those that shit matters, man. Like going seeing a specialist that's someone that's known for this nutrition. Like I had to learn, what is a calorie. I had to learn certain things, and by me having a one-on-one session with a nutritionist, I had 3 sessions. I walked away like, okay, I know what I need to do. I know what food I need to eat. I know when I need to be active, and when to actually, give yourself that cheat day or cheat meal, whatever you like, but keep yourself active and fueling your body with all the right foods. Sergeant Davis.
I cut out case in point. I don't drink Kool-Aid anymore. Once in a while, I might indulge in a glass, and that's like once in a blue moon. That's even more so when it comes to alcohol and alcoholic beverages. I never got into beer, so scratch one there. But the dark liquor, the light liquor, wines, I rarely. And I've got a show full of this stuff, but I rarely touch it. That's the other part of the discipline. Mind, body, spirit. Brothers, it is the hardest part is getting started. Now, here's how. There's a lot of fellas that are 200 plus, but when they were much younger, they were the 180, 190, barely into 200s. The thing
Mm-hmm.
is, when you completely stop exercising and you just simply start gaining weight, all that fat becomes layers of fat. So even if you decided, okay, I got to do something about this, you have 3, 4 layers of fat that you've got to burn through first. No matter how hard you exercise, how well you diet, you still have that stuff there. You see what I'm saying? You got to catch it before that happens. I've watched half of these shows where people are going in to have layers of fat surgically removed, and I've often asked myself, how do you let yourself get that big? And I see both black men and black women, and I'm like, how do you let yourself? Why did you let yourself get this big? How and why? It hurts
Well,
to see it.
I mean, again, I kind of addressed the reason behind this. Um, I kind of fell into it as well. Sometimes we get too comfortable, and sometimes we don't look at ourselves. Like, you don't realize you're gaining weight until someone tells you.
Hmm.
So it's just kind of interesting. Daryl joined the conversation. Hey, Daryl, how you doing? Daryl, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Good, good. I just wanted to say that I agree with pretty much everything you're saying, but black men as a whole are more leaner and more muscular than other ethnic groups and races. So it tends to skew us larger.
Hey, Daryl, you have feedback on your end. Do you have another window open with the YouTube on?
Let me check.
Yeah, I'm hearing an echo.
I don't have anything on now.
Yeah, okay. All right, then. Go for it.
What I'm saying is black men tend to
Wait,
skew larger.
I'm actually hearing it. I'm hearing it from Sergeant Davis' side. David,
Let me mute
David,
my
do you
mic,
have
man.
another window open? All right,
Hang
go
on
ahead.
just a second. Let me mute my mic first.
Okay,
I'm also going to go to a headset as well. Give me a second.
all right. While you guys do it, I'm gonna read some comments. All right, and again, guys, thank you for taking the time to listen to this. Again, it's not a sexy topic. It's not a topic that everyone wants to brag about, but it's a real topic that we need to have. All right, Buck travel guys are passing out overseas due to obesity issues. Correct.
Okay, I'm back in with a headset now. Is it
All
better?
right, cool. Yeah, it's better. One second there. Let me just read these comments. I have a lot of comments on this. All my homies are in the gym, including me. I don't know how dudes are getting fat. Well, bandana travel, again, it could be a lot of factors. Again, I don't want to shame anybody. It could be a lot of things that we're dealing with internally, which causing us to eat more or just be lazy. But instead of us shaming them, let's encourage them. Like, hey, brother, you got a big trip coming up. Let's get ready for it. And that's something that I do. If you travel with me, I'm gonna say, hey, listen, for the next 30, 60 days, let's put ourselves in a fitness plan and program. And again, if you losing 5, 10 pounds for that trip, it'll be totally worth it, man. Can you feel a whole lot comfortable and confident about yourself? And it's just the way you feel and you look when you get on that plane. It's like, yo, I bust my ass for the past 60 days. Now I can really enjoy myself. So that plays a role. But go ahead, Daryl.
Um, One of the things I was saying about black men, we tend to be, you know, more muscular, have more, bigger bones and stuff like that than most other ethnic groups. So a 200-pound black man and a 200-pound white man don't even look the same.
I agree.
It's a different look. So you at 250, I'm sure you'll stand next to a white guy at 250 or 300, and they'll look totally different than you. They won't look. I mean, you'll look like an athlete, and they'll just look like a slob at the same weight.
It's funny because even now, I dropped a lot of weight since that video. People always come up to me, even football players. You play ball? I'm like, no.
Right. And I mean, I get that a lot. Well, a lot of times people always underguess my weight. I weigh a lot more than what people think I
Yeah.
do. And like I said, that's just something about being a black man. But one thing I want to say is this: that I would encourage a lot of these black men also too to look at certain things like you were talking about going to Thailand. You've got workout camps and stuff in some of these countries. Maybe that's what some of these people need to get off this Western food and to go someplace and just work out for 3 months and just dedicate yourself to getting back in the best shape you can. If maybe like I said, maybe the problem is you're here. You got too many influences with most of it's in the food. You can talk about going to the gym all you want, but you don't, as they say, outrun a bad diet though. You're not going to outrun it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, honestly, I was trying to pull up a video that I did. This is my first trip to Colombia back in 2016. I was in Medellin, and I actually went to a gym and I hired a personal trainer, which was a beautiful lady. And I was doing CrossFit at the time. So I went to a CrossFit facility and we trained together. Me and this girl ended up training together, and guess what? We ended up hooking up afterwards because, like, I kind
I
of
knew it was
vibed.
leading that way.
Yeah,
it would,
yeah.
because you would have mentioned it if you would didn't. So
Hey, you know what? Look, man, it wasn't. It was one of those things that I was surprised it happened. It was just like, man, look, I hired her to train me for 2 days. But the thing is, we talked. We talked, and I got to know her and everything else. We hung out, and before I left, man, she was, hey, I'm gonna stop by and see you, and the rest is history.
one thing we have to also stop and realize is that Americans' views on sex and other countries' views on sex are a little bit different. It's not all the same. Like what you would have to be or do in the United States to get the same woman overseas is a little bit different.
Hmm. I agree. I totally agree. Let's add Rolling Traveler. How you doing, brother?
Now mute.
Oh, you're good.
All right. I'm doing pretty good, Kanal. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. The brother was just speaking. He's on point when it comes to African American men versus the European standard when it comes to that chart. Everybody's bodies don't fit in that same category. It's not a one size fit all. Genetically, we're a heavier boned race, and I'm not saying heavy bones in general, but um, I'm in a move program, nutrition program, and everything else of the VA, and they've documented everything about me.
What branch you serving, brother?
I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years.
Right.
Did Gulf
United
War,
States Army.
Somalia, you know. So, and before I went in the Marine Corps, I was purple belt in Taekwondo, and I was also boxing Golden Gloves. So, as far as being physically fit, I dropped 40 pounds just to box at 155 versus being at 195, fighting some dude that dropped from 225 to fight me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's all kind of strategies, but what I'd like to say is, as a person from the military and even just men in general, we sacrifice ourselves for our families and our sense of duty.
Whore.
Point of neglection. Okay, that's something said, because that's the whole thing. My focus went from me to my wife, my kids, my sense of duty to make sure they were being taken care of first, and I wound up neglecting myself. And that's how I started picking up weight. You have to set time aside to
I
get
agree.
your work done.
I agree. Sometimes, as black men, we always put other people ahead of us because we're very, as much as negative perception we have that we're selfish and everything else, we're really not selfish. We put a lot of people before our own, especially when we marry. Yeah, people don't realize how much we put the wife first, our kids first, before our own health. And it's just like, if you're not in
Absolutely.
that, and if you're not in that situation, look, man, make time for you, man. Make time, for yourself to live long enough to enjoy the fruit of your labor, as well as watch your kids grow. A lot of us are not even seeing that because we're passing away sooner than we should.
That's exactly right. And that was the biggest thing I had to learn. Um, 2 marriages, taking care, making sure all my kids who are all grown, grandchildren, everything were taken care of. Then I finally turned around and said, I've neglected myself for damn near 20 years to make sure everybody else was straight. It's time. If you haven't done it yet, don't wait until you're 50 something. Start refocusing, taking some time out for yourselves. The ones that are married, engaged, have kids, you have to carve out some time for
Hey,
your own personal health, and mentally and physically. You
yes,
need to carve out some time.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. Sergeant Davis, you want to chime in?
Number one, he's right. It's as far as military service is concerned, it does take a toll on you. My coach in Taekwondo told me one very valuable thing, which it served me well, and he said to take care of your body. Meaning, taking care of your body is minding your weight, making sure you get proper rest, proper diet, proper exercise. That's all encompassing. So he is right. Those of us that are veterans, if we have any more veterans listening, if you've earned those benefits, start taking advantage of them. The VA, that's what the VA is there for. The VA hospital, that's what it is there for.
Bro, I'm at 90% service connect.
Brother, I'm 100% permanent and total, man.
I'm trying to hit that 100. They're fighting me on that 10% right now.
Unfortunately, I was a reservist, so I don't get any benefits like that, but I was Air Force and Army.
Whoa, hold on a minute. What do you mean you don't get that?
I was never activated. Just all reserve duty.
Still, even as a reservist, as long as you served, that's from last I checked. As long as you served, you are still eligible for those benefits.
Served and you were at any point in time in your service, no matter if you're reservist or not, you're still eligible.
I have to check that.
If I were you, if you have injuries, man, you better go and file. You better go file a claim to the DAV. Don't go directly to the VA because they will look for excuses to tell you no.
Absolutely.
Go through the DAV.
Yep.
I use the VFW. It's your choice. I'd weigh out both of them. Which one's going to take care of you and knows it.
Okay. Hey guys, definitely let's exchange contact information so we could have this conversation offline to help this brother out. I have another call. I have another caller joined. Joseph Benjamin. My apologies if I mispronounced your name.
Oh no, you're right. How's it going?
I can't. Are you speaking? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? My check. Hold on one second. What's going on? Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
I don't hear anything on this end either.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, we can't hear you for some reason. You sound like very, very distant. But I could actually share, guys. I could share a video. This is me and Medellin. Again, hey, I know that I didn't want to highlight a trip receipt, but this is me at the gym. This is a CrossFit gym, and I actually was able to learn some tricks, from a trainer. So let me go ahead and share it. Run the video, let you guys see it. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
All right. Great.
I see it.
So.
Hello, bueno, como estas son las barras para hacer ejercicio, para hacer pull-ups, se hacen así. Sí. Oh. Eso es para eso. In gym is the CrossFit. CrossFit, solo CrossFit.
Okay.
No más. Estas son las kettlebell, los wall ball. The place es muy grande. Bueno, let's go por aquí. Vamos.
I mean, guys, like I said, I get it
Una
in.
cafetería. Restaurante donde venden proteína, agua, desayunos, comida. Por aquí. Eso es un baño. Un baño. Restaurant coach. Por aquí. Eso es para cambiarse. Cambiar de ropa.
What were her fees in U.S. dollars?
Change. I paid 50 pesos.
I don't. Can you translate that to U.S. dollars, please?
Oh, okay. At the time, shit, this is 2016, man. 50 million pesos back then, I think it's equivalent of $25-$30.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we trained together for 3 days. I mean, I got a good workout in, like, really.
But I'm saying that might be something for people that can work remotely, especially that hey, go someplace like that and maybe train for 90 days.
Yeah.
Come back, new man.
I actually trained in Brazil. I trained in South Africa. Like every trip I go to, when I know I'm going to be out there for like more than 7 days, I got to hit the gym.
Did you do any BJJ or just straight gym?
Straight gym, because I want to get a workout in, and I just kind of like just going on to the gym, get the gym feel, get the whole layout, the vibe. So I always try to find like a top tier gym or a private gym and work out there.
You also make good contacts at those
Oh
places.
yeah. Oh man. I made some amazing contacts in Salvador, Brazil, and great contact in Johannesburg. Ooh, man, my God.
Yeah, because I mean that's because the people that are into fitness and they're at high end gyms that you just set a whole other level of person.
Yeah, and that's why I try to tell people your experience is not my experience. It's just, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. Let me see who joined in.
While you're looking at that, talking about the health industry, that's what I used to do is health insurance, life insurance, travel insurance, things like that, right along with retirement and financial planning. And you're absolutely right. Those insurance policies don't cost much, but when you absolutely need them, they will come in handy for you.
Yeah.
Especially if you're talking about medical transport from
yeah.
stabilizing you in one country and flying you back to your home country or your home state. That could be a $70,000 price tag. I don't know people flying around here with black cards.
Yeah, and the thing is, the cost of that insurance could be like no more than $75, depending on what level you get. Like for me, I see it as an investment, and depending on what credit card you have, like if you have American Express, Platinum, you're covered. You just got to let the bank. I mean, let the credit card merchant know that hey, you traveling. Can they put that health alert on your card? So just in case if you got to expense it, you get reimbursed.
Right.
But that's something I always do. I don't go cheap on that. It's like just in case anything happens to me, at least I'm covered.
It comes from experience, but as an insurance guy, you're always looking at what possibly could happen, and you want to make sure you got every basis covered when it comes to that. You know what I mean?
I agree. Who's the Benjamin? Are you back? How's your audio?
All right, try again.
Oh, all right. We can hear you loud and clear
Much
now,
better.
man.
Oh, okay, cool.
Go ahead and speak your mind, man. You left a profound comment in the Facebook group, and I kind of appreciate if you share that with us.
Oh yeah. Just to summarize what I wrote, it's interesting. I actually had talked to a young lady at Rite Aid today who had lost a lot of weight, about 40 pounds, 30, 40 pounds in 3 months. She initially wanted to get a gastric bypass surgery to do it the quick and fast route, but she couldn't do it for health reasons. So she had no choice but to do it the natural way, which is going to the gym, dieting, fasting, things like that. So I asked her the process that what made her decide to begin to lose all that weight after having been overweight most of her life. And she said she just wanted to feel, she had just got over a breakup and she wanted to feel pretty for the man who left her. So in a interesting way, that motivated her to lose the weight, which tells me, to circle it back down to the post that I wrote, my suspicion is that a lot of men uh, who are overweight or suffering significant health issues is a result of some sort of emotional or psychological traumas or issues that they have yet to deal with. Oftentimes that stem from childhood. Maybe their way of bonding and connecting with themselves and their body was to eat, because of the disconnect to their body. So they would overindulge themselves and eat a lot because of the emotional trauma, and that doesn't just go away as one ages. So people tend to carry that weight, those traumas with them, and it's like bearing a burden psychologically, emotionally, mentally, and simultaneously that burden is reflected in the human body. So they continue to eat, and they have to eat more than is required to thrive and survive as a human being. So I know a lot of people say that, oh, it's a diet issue, or they just need to do this, or they just need to do that. Or I think one person commented and said that oh, it's just a diet. Oh, they just need to change X, Y, Z. But the fact that this young lady changed everything in just 3 months, what took her 30 years to do, since she was like a toddler, she was been eating a lot. As long as she can remember, up until around 30 years old, it took her 3 months to make that change, which tells me that it's not just changing your diet, it's not just exercising, it's the will. And that person has to have a certain level of self esteem about themselves. And when someone is significantly overweight, or in my case, speaking for myself, I was significantly underweight. Um, that's a self-esteem issue. That's something that happened from just growing up, dealing with life, all kinds of traumas and issues that we haven't dealt with and that we haven't addressed, that needs to be addressed through therapy or some other means. And until we address it, then we're not going to be as motivated to work on ourselves to improve ourselves in our diet and our health. So you have situations where we can look ourselves in the mirror and see nothing wrong, but people on the outside looking at us can see, damn, this person, don't they see them? Like, don't they, they wonder, like, don't they see that there's an issue here? Don't they care about their health? Don't they care? We can look at a Lizzo and say things about her, for example. Say, oh, yeah, she's really overweight. Don't no man really want her. But we don't look at the humanity or the human side of her, which shows that this woman has a lot of issues that has nothing to do with fame, with fortune, with all this attention that she's getting, being world renowned for her music, her talent. None of that matters, because if she doesn't see herself as pretty, such as the girl that I met in Rite Aid today, if she doesn't see herself as beautiful and she's constantly looking for the approval of other people, then that's going to reflect in her body, and people are going to, well, a lot of people, unfortunately, in her case, is going to be very vocal about it. Um, for a lot of men who are doing the traveling outside the country, they're, in my opinion, they're trying to escape from that. Right? You take yourself everywhere you go. You still have to do the work, whether you're in America, whether you're in Europe or Canada, and you travel to another country. If you've been indulging in food here, you're going to be indulging in even more food there, because everything is a lot cheaper. So, and you can be a lot lazier, and it's just not as, there's a lot less discipline involved, because you feel like, well, I'm on vacation, I'm just going to pig out, I'm going to do everything I want to do, whether it's eat as much as I want, have as much sex as I want, do as much this as I want, just overindulge in everything until excess, until it consumes oneself, and that absolutely reflects in that person's body. So, um, it's just, to me, it's mind-boggling that some people um, can can choose to go to a different country and not address those issues with themselves because they think that by going someplace else, they're going to be escaping themselves, but you can't escape yourself, and you have to deal with those issues one way or another, or otherwise you're going to end up passing away from an early death, such as the gentleman uh, who started a lot of the black travel movement from
One
Black Men's Options. I
one
forget
thing
his name, but he
one
was
thing I
one of
want to
them.
say is that you
Charles
can't
Tyler.
put your life on hold forever. Live your life today. You may never lose that 50 pounds before you take that trip to wherever. Go. I say go. If you got the money today, go. Why are you going to sit up there and make these men feel like they got to stay in their little cocoon until they get they come up and that and that? One of the reasons why they want to leave the country is because we know that the attitudes are bad here regardless. I mean, you got guys that weigh, that they're 6 foot, 6'1", weigh 196 pounds, and that guy's still getting curved and dissed over in this country. You know what it's like for somebody who's 50, 75 pounds heavier than that. It's going to be worse for him. So they
In my opinion, it's an enabler. In my humble opinion, when a man goes, and I understand that, like, okay, the woman doesn't want me here, they don't want me here, so I'm going to go to this country and they're going to want me there, no matter what my weight is, no matter what my mindset is, no
exactly.
matter my financial situation.
You're right, and that's
That's
why they
not a
got.
good thing. I don't think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I do.
I,
I
I don't
absolutely
believe
do.
it.
Why would you stay where you're not wanted? If somebody over there likes you, as a pimp said once in the infamous show, what was it? Pimps Up, Hoes Down. Mr. Whitefield said, maybe you need to change your venue. Maybe if you live in Chicago and chicks don't like you and they digging you in Atlanta, then take your ass to Atlanta. Why are you staying in Chicago trying to beat your head against the wall? Get the hell out.
Well, I'm
Well,
talking specifically in regards to the weight issue of
Well,
men who
that's what I'm
are
talking about.
overweight
Well, let me
or
say
unhealthy.
something. So, well, when I'm saying it. Not everybody that's slim is healthy. Look at, like I
That's
said,
true.
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin
Look at him.
Samuels.
He
I
passed away.
agree.
I'm older than Kevin Samuels. I weigh more than Kevin Samuels, and I'm talking to you live and in color. But
But
so
there are
I
people
want
who smoke cigarettes for 50 years and they never die off.
to
Does
thank
that
you.
mean that
That's what I'm
those
saying.
who
You have to look at every case is different. You can't take what just because this guy is unhealthy at that weight doesn't mean that the other person at a lighter weight is healthy. That is not a guarantee, especially when you don't know that Kevin Samuels'
I
family
can
history.
attest to that. I've had clients that were super healthy, and I used to use this phrase all the time. While you might look good on the outside, we don't know
What
what's
your blood
going
work
on in
looks
the
like. Yeah,
inside of you.
I want some blood. That's the first thing I always
So,
say because I'll show you mine
you're
anytime.
looking at, let's put it this way, one of the top physical specimens in history was Bruce Lee. He came up with a lot of the
No, he
protein
was. He was.
drinks and electric.
Bruce Lee was a 4F in the army. They did not take him because of all of his health issues. He was not
Really?
that great. Yes, you go check it out.
huh,
Bruce Lee was actually an American-born citizen.
Well, I
correct?
He
know that part,
Yes, and
but he
so he
came
was
up.
drafted.
What I'm
The
saying
army
is
tried to induct him, and they
what
would
I'm
not take
saying
him.
is right, right. But what I'm saying is he still started part of the fitness industry when it comes to physically working out, electroshock therapy when it came to muscle
Yes,
tension.
yes, he did.
He did a lot of those things trying to be healthy and still died from a brain aneurysm. So, like you said, and I agree with you, don't wait till tomorrow because tomorrow's not promised. Don't
Hmm.
wait until you drop the weight while you're doing it. Like Kanal was saying, every so often while you're taking a trip, make sure you're hitting the gym.
There you go. Or
You're in
like I said,
you're in the heat, you're in the humidity. Why not go and work out and sweat
you
off a couple extra pounds while
you
you're walking around?
you've got camps in places like Thailand where you can go over there specifically to get in shape. Like I said, you've got a lot of these people who are remote workers. If you got the time, go over there and spend 2 or 3 months, and you might cut down and get lean. I'm not. I'm just saying is why you're there. Do that.
oh,
Not to mention there are countries, not since it's not the United States, but there are nations where big guys are kind of celebrated. Because they're seen as wealthy and that to be big. So it's not. So don't think that every country dismisses a big black guy. That's
no,
not necessarily true.
Well, one thing I
Is it
want to
healthy
make
though?
it clear to everybody
That's
again.
the whole key to me. Is it
Um,
healthy? It's not
Oh,
about whether
shut
it's
up! I get
accepted.
tired of hearing that health stuff. We just went over that, saying that that everybody that's big is not unhealthy, and everybody that's slim isn't healthy. Like I
Oh,
said,
I
Kevin,
disagree with
you
that.
know, you just right. You go and
For
like I
what
said,
I've seen.
man, dude, I done been to funerals for skinny folks too. I have,
hey
and it
guys,
wasn't foul play. It
hey guys. I
happens.
mean, at the end of the day, you want to travel as the best version of yourself. I mean,
Absolutely
regardless if you're skinny or big. Again, for me, if you see me in public, you think I'm a ball player just based on my natural build.
from a former
However, I
ball
don't
player.
like how I feel. I don't like how I feel. That's the point. I don't like walking around sluggish. I like to move. I'm more of a hit and run type of person. I like to keep moving and do everything. So for me to have the best trip that I want to have, I want to be in the best shape possible. I don't travel to be a leisure traveler. I'm an active traveler. I have my camera, I have my drone. I'm ready. I'm always on the go. So again, depending on your traveling style, you could go to a country, to Brazil, DR, or any other country, and just be a leisure travel where you just lounge all day and be okay with
Right.
that.
That's not me
But
either. I like to get down too.
But
But
for me, the type of person I am, I get bored staying in one place. Now, granted, yes, you could be a big guy and be in amazing great shape. But also, you could be a thin guy that's not in the best health standing. However, before you get on that plane, go see the doctor. Make sure you're good, because the thing is, you don't want to go based on assumption that you think you're okay, and next you
right.
know your ass got a stroke.
Right. That my birthday is in October, and every year in October I go and take a complete physical, blood work, X-rays, the whole nine. I do need so that's the reason why when somebody says about this and weight and healthy and all that, I'll throw my blood work down next to yours any day of the week. You know, because see, I know what my numbers are.
I would do the same.
Yeah, and again, guys, there's no right and wrong to all
Hmm.
this. Just always saying, just make sure you take care of yourself, because again, just a few months ago, we lost a dear friend, someone that I knew out of Chicago. He ended up getting a heart attack in his penthouse in Brazil. They didn't find his body until 4 days later.
Who was he? Was he an online presence?
Yeah, yeah,
I think.
James.
Hmm.
James, he was an expat out of DR, out of Colombia, and he was in the process of moving to Brazil.
Sometimes it's just your time to go, bro.
Yeah,
And
I mean, yeah,
you
but
know,
okay, but the thing is, I understand
I
that,
can
but
accept
yes, if
that.
you could take proactive measures, just be proactive.
right.
Is just like you could just go ahead and book a ticket and go half across the country. You could just pick up the phone and schedule a doctor visit. Make sure you're good. Just be
That's
proactive about your health.
right.
I mean, granted, yes, you could be a big guy, 400 pounds, and be the healthiest person. However, how do you feel? That's the
Oh,
thing. Like,
absolutely. At some point, I mean, 400 pounds, we know that's just off the chain. But I mean, there are some weights like you're saying. Yeah, you may not be as good as you want to be at a certain weight, but you're still moving around. You're still doing everything. I'm saying if you want to go to wherever on the map, then I say, hey, go. And like we were talking about,
I agree.
when you go over there, eat clean, work out, make sure that you're doing what you do when you get there too.
Well,
You know,
I'll
Yeah,
tell you
but
this. I'll tell you
realistically,
this. When I actually
who's
traveled,
doing that?
when I was my heaviest, I traveled, and being out there made me realize, like, you know what? I'm freaking huge. Naturally, I'm a big guy. So you know what? I want to be in the best shape possible where I can move around and not be, wobbling across, feeling tired, feeling sluggish. That was my motivation while I was there. So when I came back home, I was ready to hit the gym. I was ready to go to the supermarket and buy all my Whole Foods. So again, sometimes being overseas will give you that motivation, because you
yes, it will.
realize other people in that country actually live a way more healthy lifestyle than people live in the states.
They go to markets every day. They eat incredibly fresh, locally produced, non-GMO products. Like I said, if you're down in Colombia, let's say you got some on your own place, you'll probably hire some lady to cook for you. When she cooks for you, she's going to go down to the market, the produce market. She's going to go to a meat market and buy the meat, and then come to the house and cook it right then and there. It's not none of this prepackaged stuff coming out of no frozen TV dinners or nothing like that. You're eating real food.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and also too, like if you're overseas, go take a walk. I mean, if you live in a safe community, go take an early morning walk. Go to the park. put your headphones on, be mindful where you at, and just take that walk. Especially in Brazil, if you're in Copacabana, you got that whole entire long strip covering Copacabana, Leblon. What's the other one? It's like all these multiple communities on that long strip. Just
Mm-hmm.
walk it instead of you jump on that Uber. Just walk. You'd be amazed if you do that every day. You averaging about 10,000 steps a day. You're
Even
gonna
on,
lose weight.
I noticed that too about even if you're in like a New York here in the United States. I don't give a damn how much money you got in New York. You probably gonna have to get out and walk once you go to certain places. It's just the way it is. So doing that walking, and like you said, you just naturally get your exercise in. And that's what, if you notice, most places where you look at people that live a long time, they live in places where they usually walk up a lot of hills and they walk a lot. And, throughout life, it's not the people that are hitting gyms and doing that that are living the longest. It's people that just naturally get out and walk.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at those societies, those are your people that live to be 90, 100 years old. That's where they live.
I mean, I can share this with you guys. I average about 20,000 steps a day. And what I do, I work from home. I invested on a standing desk, electric standing desk. So I could actually press the button and the desk will actually rise up.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to work 4 hours standing up. And what I do is too, because I have a smartwatch, I program my watch every hour to go take a 15-minute walk. Granted, if I don't have any meetings, I go walk out in my community and I go take a walk for 15 minutes. I time it. And I come back in, get back to work. I try to keep my food intake at a minimum. If I'm hungry, I eat. If I'm not feeling hungry, just drink water. But I try to keep it clean where I just stick to like natural protein, natural fats, and good carbs. I don't do any crash diet, any crazy thing. But besides fasting for 16 hours, my body kind of got used to it. So I don't really get hungry until 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
So
But,
you just eat, you're like OMAD,
huh?
OMAD,
Oh,
one meal
man.
a day.
Oh man, one
Oh,
meal a day.
no. I actually have 2 meals because
Okay.
I have my first
He's
meal
just
at
doing
3, then I have
intermittent
my second
fasting.
meal at 9.
Yeah, he's
So
doing intermittent fasting with an 8-hour eating window.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 16-8. So I do that, and by doing that, I'm dropping, and it's not like I'm doing anything extreme. The only extreme thing that I do is boxing. That shit is intense. But after
Yeah,
that,
it's
everything
very.
else is leisure walking. I'm not sprinting. I'm not doing none of that. I do leisure walks. I'm constantly moving around my place. If I notice that I've been sitting down way too long, I get my ass up and I go do something. So it's just like, I mean, again, guys, you don't have to be all that extreme. Just do the little things, especially for the guys that's dealing with weight issues. Just start moving around. Give yourself a goal. Give yourself a goal each day. Hey, today I'm gonna work 5,000. I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna take 5,000 steps. Then the following week, 10,000 steps. Then each time you're getting better and you feel like you can challenge yourself more, go for 15,000 steps. Next, you're doing this on a consistent basis where you don't really feel it. Like
Canon,
sometimes I go take a long walk. I find some YouTubers that I want to listen to or podcasts. Put my headphones on. I'm gone.
You know,
you, you,
one of the
you
other
said
things
something.
I'd like to say about about the activity. If you're going to travel to some place, you want to make sure that you're in good shape because, like I said, when you get there, you're probably going to have to walk someplace through airports,
Yeah,
through cities, because a lot of these cities, especially the older ones, that's the only way to get through them because they're not really designed for a lot of cars and stuff.
I
So
agree.
it's to be conditioned like that is a good thing because, like I said, you're going to feel it bad if you don't condition yourself to do 10, 15,000 steps. It's gonna haunt you. I had a friend of mine. She took one of her girlfriends to Puerto Rico, and that girl was complaining the whole time. She made the trip miserable because she was fat, out of shape, and couldn't walk nowhere.
You
Don't be
just
that person.
essentially said everything I just said in that one statement that you just got done saying that I was wrong about.
You were wrong, dude. I'm not gonna go back and readdress that.
No,
What
you
you're
just
saying,
said
no.
it.
What you're saying is that because that person's heavy, they're unconditioned. That is not the same.
Wait,
I didn't
say that
say
again.
this. I didn't
Because
say
of
They were unconditioned. We're talking about percentage of body fat. I'm not in percentage of body fat and your weight, and versus you being conditioned. You can be slim and be and be non-conditioned too. Trust me, anybody here that's a veteran will tell you there's plenty of skinny dudes that got in the military, got to boot camp, and couldn't run for shit. I've seen too many of them.
Yeah, we understand. I mean, let's chill.
couldn't run around the block hardly, and they were, and all of them people were height weight proportion.
Well, that's essentially all I've been honestly just getting yourself into travel ready. I mean, if you're going from here to a different country and that inspires you to then get into shape, great. But what you just said is it's just you preconditioning yourself. You're getting yourself
your vocals are down.
Yeah, we lost you again, Benjamin.
When you're traveling,
well, I mean, look, I'm gonna just say this: both of you guys made solid points. At the end of the day, depending on your body type, it works for you. I have my eldest son, 6'4", 275 defensive tackle. Dude could run like a damn cheetah, strong like an ox at 19 years old. But then they're gonna have a 10-year-old son who's super thin. Complete opposite.
Yeah.
So I mean, one is not healthier than the other. It's just depending on your body type, find what works for you based on your body type. However, if you are planning to do some type of activity overseas, make sure your body is built for it. Because again, you're gonna do a lot of walking. There's some things that there's probably some rides or activities that you can't fit because you weigh too heavy.
Yeah, so, like zip lining is a good one.
Yeah, zip lining.
Here's an interesting fact. Most people hurt themselves when they're on vacation because they're not in shape for it.
Right, you're not conditioned. Like I said, if you notice, for us former athletes and that, you look at the thing that they'll say strength and then they'll say conditioning. See, strength, you may take somebody who can lift up a bunch of weight in the gym. They're strong, but how many times can they do it? Before they run out of gas. You've got to condition your muscles. That's why, you can still be strong and only do so many push-ups because you're not conditioned to do 100 push-ups. The strength may be there, but not the conditioning. So you got to work on your conditioning.
I kind of agree with this Facebook user. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about personal accountability. Every man needs to be accountable about their health, and just be realistic. Again, before you decide to take this trip out to Brazil, Thailand, or any other country across the world, if you know you got high blood pressure issue, diabetes, you should not be taking that blue pill.
I'll say something
about your medication on a regular basis. Period.
You should. I take my blood pressure medication. I do take it because it's more family history. I have a family history of high blood pressure. I take it and I'm good. I have no erectile dysfunction issues. But one thing I want to say is that I looked at that, especially when Kevin Samuels passed. I looked at that blue pill thing, saying that was that a problem, and that is not actually a problem. Remember that pill was designed originally as heart medication.
But keep in mind, overseas, I mean, what we take here in the States is different than what they give overseas. If anything, overseas, it's more potent. And the thing is, what I know, if you look at the ingredients, man, they probably have more stuff. And also, too, a lot of guys are buying the fake stuff.
Like so they're buying off the straight. Okay, I was talking.
Honestly, you go to DR.
I was thinking of pharmaceutical grade prescription.
No. I mean, let's keep it real. Most of the guys that end up buying the blue pills overseas, they're not buying at a pharmacy. They buying from a guy that's, hey, I got the pill.
From Julio in the corner.
Yeah, and you don't even know what the hell you taking, and taking all this.
I don't put that. We over 40. We can't put that in our bodies.
Ain't nobody dealing with those street pharmaceuticals. Come on now.
No,
wait, but guys, you'd be amazed when you drinking and you're surrounded by beautiful women. You want to get one in. Sometimes a guy will just throw caution out the window, call Carlos, hey, give me 5 of those. Knowing that he spent the whole entire week eating fried food, drinking shit, and now he's about to take that, and he has some type of blood pressure issue or any pre-existing issues that's going to affect him, and he's taking an unknown substance into his body. I mean, things happen.
You're right about that. I agree with
guys, I mean, guys, if you want to go overseas and you're dealing with some pre-existing issues and you need that that pick me up, see your doctor. Just
Yes,
ask for
sir.
it.
Yes, sir. See your doctor. They'll write you a script. Some of the guys, even the VA, will write, I think, scripts for that. You know.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean,
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, this is a great conversation. Again, I didn't want this to be a debate,
sure.
whatever, no one's not right, no one's wrong.
Yeah.
It's just like, we want to just educate and really see brothers win overseas. I'm just seeing a lot of guys dropping off too soon after they bust their ass in corporate America or at the, whatever place that you worked. And now that you have this pension, you have this retirement plan going, and you only live 5 years to actually enjoy it. And we could do a better job in how we carry ourselves. And again, for us big guys, again, I understand. I'm a big guy myself, but at the same time, I want to look and feel my best when I get on that plane. And that's just me. And any smart man will want to feel the same way.
One thing I'd like to address this too is a type of body dysmorphia, and what I mean by that is this: you take people like Lizzo and that, because she's been big for so long, she didn't even know how damn big she is.
Yeah.
And I've seen that, and that happened to me. I lost about 30 pounds. I went on a diet, lost about 30 pounds, looked pretty good and everything. And when I see pictures of myself at that weight and the other weight, it was like, how did I let when I got down to that other weight, it was like, how did I let myself get that big? I never knew how big I was until I lost the weight, in other words. You just think, yeah, man, I'm just kind of a little chunky or whatever. But you like, damn, I done got big as fuck, And now you see that when you lose the weight. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think that Lizzo actually knows she's that big. If she were to lose 75 pounds, she'd look at herself in a totally different light.
She's cute. I mean, honestly, she would
She's
have
never
lose
been a
that.
bad. We never said she was ugly, but per se. But it's unattractive. A woman. She's also very tall. So you got this big linebacker sized woman walking up to you, and you're like, well, I think I want to be the big nigga in the house. That's my job. I don't want to share that role.
Like, I mean, as I said, like the video that I showed you guys at the beach, like when I saw that, I was like, wow, I got big.
Right.
I
When
mean,
you see
I didn't see it.
yourself,
I didn't
you
see
don't
it for
see it.
myself.
Yeah.
But when I saw that video, I literally stopped and I asked my girl, hey, why the hell you didn't tell me I was gaining weight? And it's just like when I saw that, that's when I knew, okay, I need to make a change. And I've been doing it. And now I'm feeling good. I'm actually going to Mexico in a couple of weeks. Now September, I'm going to DR, and of course, I got the big trip to Thailand, my first Asian trip in November. And I'm trying to go to Thailand. Look like when they see me, they're like, okay, we're not gonna fuck with him type vibe. Like, who the hell this dude is? Like, I want to look my best. I want to walk around. I want to, take photos, pictures, fly my drone, create some great content for you guys, and share my story. But also too, I want to look and feel good, man. When I looked at that video, I didn't even feel good. I know I felt extremely uncomfortable. Benjamin, any thoughts? All right, the audio again, Benjamin. What type of phone do you have? Apple? Yeah, we can't hear you.
too.
Oh, okay. I can hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Oh, you're gone. You're gone again.
You're
Well, hey
whispering.
guys, it's 1 hour. It's been over an hour and 30 minutes. This is quite long. I have to get ready to wake up in the morning. And I want to close it out. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time to join this conversation. We'll definitely have more of these conversations. But again, everyone is right. Everyone. There's no right answer or wrong answer to this. It's just, again, go see a doctor, deal with your issues. If you need to see a therapist, go see a therapist, and just start moving your body around, man. Just do the little things first, and you'd be amazed. That little thing could definitely motivate you to do bigger things. So I'm gonna pass the mic around. You guys make a closing statements, and we'll call it a day. So Daryl, closing.
Annual checkup. Please get one. Please go to use your insurance, get that annual checkup. Let them look you over from head to toe and get that rubber stamp. That doesn't mean that you're all out of that means that you have absolutely no problems, but it does give you a little bit more confidence and to know maybe what you need to adjust. And that's all I have to say.
I agree. Thank you, Daryl. Roland.
My thing is mental and physical health go hand in hand. You know, deal with your mental, let some of these things go that you need to let go of, like you were saying earlier in your opening. And that's part of you going on vacation too, is so you can unwind. You know what I'm saying? Deal with those mental issues and the things that you're carrying on your back, whether it be prior relationships, whatever it is. Get in the gym, start taking care of yourself, set some time apart for yourself, and get into it.
I totally agree. I totally agree. I know Benjamin, you had a fall off, but
Consult a nutritionist too. That's
yes,
also part of your insurance. If you're going to go to doctors, you're going to go to personal trainers, go to nutritionists. They're also covered as well.
yeah, and get someone who's certified. A lot of people are
Yes,
position themselves as a nutritionist with no background certification.
they won't. Your insurance won't cover that if they're not
Yeah,
certified. I'm sure.
yeah. I made sure my nutritionist was in the hospital.
Yeah.
I actually had to go to the hospital to see my nutritionist, and she sat me down for 3 days, and we just literally had a working session, and she explained to me, everything. And based on that feedback I was able to get from the nutritionist, I was able to come back home, clean out my refrigerator, clean out my cabinets, and start all over completely.
Have you ever had a DEXA scan or like a InBody or anything like that?
Explain that.
Things like they use to tell you what your body fat percentage is.
Yeah, I do that during my physical. Um, at the time, I think when I first did it, I haven't done it since I lost the weight, so I know it's a lot less. But when I did it, I think I was at 20%.
20% is within normal range. It's less than 25. You're within the normal range, so you have a high percentage of muscularity versus fat. So even though you might weigh a lot, you're still not over fat
Yeah,
at
but
20%. Now 20, I mean, of course you could look like some ripped up 8% guy, but once you get beyond 25, 30%, then you're getting into obesity
I
for a
mean,
male.
for me, I don't care to be ripped. I just want to be solid.
Exactly, I agree. Especially at our age. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
22, you want the six pack, but I don't have to have a six pack in my 50s.
I mean,
You know,
I don't mind
Man,
having
I'm
a
a
two pack though.
grandfather, okay?
I
I
don't
ain't
mind
trying
having a
to.
two pack.
I'm a grandfather. I ain't trying to sit there and have no six pack. And hey, I got plenty of women that love a dad bod too.
hmm
Yeah. It's true. It's true. Benjamin, any closing statement for you, man? We're about to close out.
Yeah, I guess. For number one, any kind of medication, or if a man or woman is taking any kind of medication to take care or solve any sort of or natural, it's not. That is a state. That is an indication in itself that the individual is unhealthy to some degree. Secondly, I've heard comments about how it's nasty and it's disgusting when there's an overweight woman or a fat woman or woman who is a couple of pounds chunkier or heavier is trying to attempt to get with men in the States. How it's disgusting to them to see them in that condition. But yet they don't, men don't see themselves in that condition. So when they're trying to talk to women, be it here or abroad, they don't see that the reason why the women are into them is because of the state of their own physical health. But yet they can look at women like a Lizzo and comment about her appearance, but they won't necessarily, look within and look at themselves in the mirror and say, well, what is it about me that's causing women to not be so receptive to me? But so they blame the women, and they say, well, screw it all. I'm just going to go to XYZ, wherever that may be, and they're going to accept me the way I am. And be that as it may, they may very well accept you as you are, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's a good thing. And I'm going to stand on that. It's not a good thing because you're still going to remain healthy and you're still going to have a possible premature death. Of course, there are skinny guys who are quote unquote unconditioned or whatever, or they have issues like a Kevin Samuels. That is a great example. You look like someone who is a beacon of health, but we could all clearly see his lifestyle, even on camera, Red Bulls, a lot of drinking, just a glimpse and snippets here and there. So that's not to say that being overweight is a be all end all, but it is absolutely an indicator of unhealthiness and an inability to move throughout the world in a
You
healthy
know
way.
what? You know what? One of when I look back at Kevin Samuels' videos, I noticed him doing something that's an indicator of poor health. If you notice, when you see
Mhm.
somebody like they're like gonna cough and they're it's like almost like a cough or like a hiccup or something like that.
Oh, this burping.
Usually burping, right?
Yeah,
That is an indication of that your heart is not pumping correctly.
I
That's
agree.
why it's going
You
up.
serious? Burping?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
he did
If
it a
you see the
lot.
people with a lot of indigestion, if you notice people that have a lot of poor indigestion, they say, "Oh man, I just got a little heartburn."
Yeah.
That have them go check. Have that checked out, please.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
if you
agree.
notice, look at Kevin Samuel's videos, you'll see it. And like I said, it's
Angina. Look up angina.
yeah, you'll see those problems. I
Wow.
did notice that.
Wow. I just learned something.
Yeah,
I didn't
he
know
does
that.
that a lot. I thought it was a problem too when I saw it. He would do it maybe every couple of minutes, and then it became more frequent over time. It became like it used to be like every 5, 10 minutes, then it became every 5 minutes, then it became every 2 or 3 minutes. It was like it was almost like his trademark in a way. It became that frequent,
Yes, sir. And
and it was bad.
you picked up on that as well. Okay, so I'm not the only
No,
one.
you're not the only one. No, but there's nothing that I could have said or done because I'm just one out of the millions who's
Hmm.
he's his own person. He's his own man. He makes his own health decisions. It's the people around him that surrounded him who are supposed to pull him aside, just like my friend did with me when I was severely underweight. He told this dude, I'm just leave on this note. This guy told me, he said, dude, man, because went to Taco Bell, picked up a little cantina bowl when they had them at the time. He looked at me like I was crazy. He said, dude, he said, what the fuck you doing? He said, what are you doing? He said, like you a grown ass man eating that rabbit food. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I got in my feelings a little bit. I was like, man, what? I was like, what? But then of course I couldn't really get in my feelings too much because he's like twice my size. He got muscle. So it was like it was not a whole lot I could say or do without, my ass partially getting kicked. So I was like, okay, cool. So after he told me the deal, he was a real fan telling me how it is. I went in my room, thought about it for about a week, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do something about it. And him telling me the truth about myself, where I couldn't see myself that way, because I see myself in the mirror every day. I don't see the little blemishes that people, if they see me last year and they see me a year later, they're gonna notice things that I don't see. So
Wow.
I needed him to tell me what I couldn't see, my blind spots. And a lot of people don't want to see their blind spots, whether they're underweight severely, like I was at one point, or they're overweight severely, like a lot of men are currently still. And it's tough. No one likes to hear that. Hey, your breath stinks, man. Do something about it. What the
Yeah.
hell you mean my breath stinks? I mean, look, I get it. It's human nature to do that. I did
That's
it
another.
initially, but then
That's
after you
another.
get over that, you have to be like, okay, now is there any truth to what this person is saying? And then you have to take a hard look and say, okay, is this person's either hating on me, like we're saying, oh, they're just some haters, they're some haters,
Hmm.
they don't want to see me, thrive, or there's some truth into it, and this person's actually telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
But also too, with the bad breath situation, that could be that you have an infection in your mouth, and no matter how many mints you take of brushing your teeth, it may not fix it until you go see somebody professionally.
That's
So
true. Like if
so
you have
make
an
sure you.
abscess in
That's
the
why
tooth.
I'm one about the professionals, because remember, these things are indications of other things.
Yeah.
If you have poor dental health, a lot of times that will result in poor cardiovascular health.
I agree.
Those are windows to other health issues. Don't ignore them. Like your eye color, your nails. All of those things are telling you what's going on inside your body.
It's a precursor. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is great, man. Again, this is not a sexy topic, but it's a real topic, and I think this is a conversation that we need to have more often amongst Black men, and hear the cold hard truth and how we live, and how we could better, and how we could actually do things differently to live a better life, either be domestic or overseas. Guys, I really appreciate this. It's been over an hour and 45 minutes on a Thursday night, Friday morning. Just wanted to say thank you again. We're gonna actually have more of these conversations, and this is good, man. This is good. We're moving in the right direction. And again, I love to see Black men overseas traveling, living their best lives. But guys, if we could actually prevent a lot of these issues overseas, these cancer, these heart disease issues, let's do it, man. Let's do a better job. And also, too, don't be afraid to accept constructive criticism. If someone tells you hey, brother, you kind of gained some weight. Please listen to him. Go see the doctor, man. I mean, your ego is not going to keep you alive. And once you can look at yourself and understand that you need to get that help, go see that doctor. You putting all that money towards that insurance anyway, so you might as well just start using it.
Also, too, even overseas, you can have cheaper medical.
Yeah,
So I mean, hey, you go see a doctor in a foreign country if you have to.
yeah, I agree.
Mm.
Dental work, surgery. I mean, it's always cheaper overseas, but if you can't travel and you got an insurance plan through the company, go ahead and see your doctor. Pay that co-payment, $25, $50, and you'll be all right. So with that being said, guys, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for joining on this podcast. And I'll be having some other ones lined up later this weekend to talk about some things. With that being said, guys, thank you and have a great night.
Have a great night, fellas.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. No.
Cheers to your health.